Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to more of the Mars TV Dota 2 League 2016, aka the MDL. We're going to be hopping into our second series of the day. This is the last day of the group stages. Moving on into tomorrow, it will be all about the playoffs. So we got to find out who is going to be seated where. Is it the upper bracket or is it down in the dumpster with the rest of the frickin' noobs? Vici Gaming taking on iG.Vitality. I'm KotLGuy for Beyond the Summit. I'm going to be joined by Mr. Ben Merlini Woo. Hello, Ben. How you doing? How was your trip recently to Magic Mountain? Did you have a good time?
There were a ton of people there. I can't imagine going sometime like during prime time, in between Memorial Day and Labor Day.
I heard you were pretty efficient though about hitting up the rides.
Hell yeah.
One to the next, to the next,
Dude,
to the next.
First phase sniper. I saw it banned in a couple of games yesterday, not only in this series, or in the iG.Vitality series, but also in the Vici Gaming series versus the EG. I think it was banned like early too. Like second phase,
Is this is just like a Chinese Dota thing right now, right? I mean, I haven't seen really any other Western teams adopt or welcome back Sniper yet. I think they haven't forgiven him for the last time he was really in the meta, so they haven't touched him yet. But the Chinese teams are like, we're fine with this. We're fine with this little ugly man.
5 seconds.
And what's the benefit? Like honestly, what is the benefit to getting him in the first phase?
Apparently,
I mean,
he's just owning for them.
like, is it similar to how he used to own? I remember and recollect him being like a turtle inside the base. He had phenomenal high ground defense, and he's just like that late game core who creeps on you, man. He's suddenly just popping off shots in the back, and you're realizing, okay, this guy's doing damage. How do we close the gap and get in his face? Is he going to be able to be just as viable as he once was? Why him and not a Drow, I guess, is another...
Why not both?
You know, why not both? I mean, why not, right?
Okay, I have to check out this last game that... It was also versus an OD. This was... Seems like a pretty common matchup. I think it's definitely Sniper favor just because OD has really poor range, and Sniper doesn't really suffer at all for the lack of mana or lack of int.
Did he get a Dragon Lance too? The Sniper?
Yeah.
Dang, that's dirty.
He went Dezo first.
Dezo first? Interesting. I'm excited to see.
I think it was Dezo. Actually, let me double check. Go ahead.
I would imagine this is something that Vici Gaming are probably could have expected, maybe even have scrimmed against, and are going to be probably formulating a game plan to work in and around it. Somehow, some way, Elder Titan has managed to find his way into the second phase of this draft, and Vici Gaming will pick it up, so you get the balance between some strong defense and offense with one support in your Shadow Demon. You got Elder Titan there to help really make someone like Sniper suffer. These agility carries just tend to really have a rough time against the Elder Titan, battling that ridiculous natural order and tend to be very, very squishy. So I can't help but imagine that for the Sniper, he's got to be very, very careful where he's going to be in the chaos of some of these fights.
Okay, last time he played Sniper, he owned.
He as in, I assume, this is...
They played it mid.
Sakata? Yeah, so Sakata then.
Yeah, he had Phase, Dezo, Blink, SNY, and a full Hurricane Pike in 30 minutes.
Whoa. How much was it, like kills? Like, did he kill a lot? Was he slaying noobs, or was he just farming?
He was 12 and 5.
Okay.
Their whole team was doing pretty well, though. But
so we're expecting big things.
Yeah, I think it's more to limit the impact of the OD. I like it a lot versus OD. OD already has like somewhat mobility issues. You don't want to really use your force staff like offensively in fights. And
10 seconds
like,
remaining.
It's difficult for him to turn and chase people in fights.
5 seconds remaining.
So I wonder if that's going to just require some extra attention towards this mid lane and Sniper, which I'm sure iG.Vitality are going to be fine with. That means that their side lanes get relieved, and next thing you know, a Bat Rider is going to be coasting his way into a seriously nice time Blink Dagger. So
yeah, the Bat Rider is also very good versus OD. The Napalm on OD, like he has a really hard time dealing damage. So I think like their lineups mostly focus on dealing with the Outworld Devour. Which team do you favor, by the way?
You mean in general, like just on paper?
We've seen a little bit of both teams.
I had done a little bit of read up here, and both teams, you know, they kind of got a little bit of both. They got the old crafty vets that have been on the vets that have been on the squad for a while, and then some of them have some new blood. Ghost, we talked about him very briefly yesterday, aka known as the Dirty Ghost, apparently, or Ugly Ghost. Sorry, Ugly Ghost. Really hasn't been able to be in the limelight. He was a part of the FTD club, which is the For the Dream club. I guess it's just like players came together and made these mini clubs so that they can actually compete for the major. But yeah, other than that, hasn't really been in the spotlight, but here he is for Vici Gaming, so they have a lot of faith in him. And you got DDC, FY, Yang, who was not there at TI. We got to remember, Yang was unable to attend and be a part of the Vici Gaming Reborn squad because of the visa issues. So, and many were saying he was the best on the team.
They would have owned with Yang.
So I would imagine, I would put slightly favoritism towards Vici Gaming based on paper, but I don't know. Can't underestimate iG.Vitality. They, I believe, 2-0 to newbie coming from WCA, and hey, they beat Jeremy Lin's team. The Vici Gaming J or something J, IGJ. Have you heard about that team?
No.
It's the team ROTK is on with HYM, I believe, and some others. Popular names too, but it's Jeremy Lin's team. Well, they beat them. They didn't even qualify, so sad times ahead. iG.Vitality, though, moving on, they're going to be picking up the Earth Spirit here to be paired up with Disruptor as your support duo, but you know, we don't get to see a lot of Earth Spirit airtime, you know, with these new mid laners being very elusive, your Miranas and such. It's hard to gank, but
they really want the silence. The silence is really good versus the OD and the SD. You want multiple ways to control the Shadow Demon. And if someone gets defensively disrupted or put under it with the OD, it's super easy for the Earth Spirit to land a combo. I mean, he can interrupt the Elder Titan and the Sword from controlling the fights. They need AoE control in the fights. Disruptor's not enough. I'm down with that.
I mean, yeah, it's fine. It's just he still always has that problem of not being able to farm efficiently, and then you always question how effective he could be in the late game. Certainly how well he does in the early game could impact that, but you know, the last recent strong performance was actually Jarek's yesterday after we finished and hand things over to OD. He certainly showed why he's still a prominent good pick, at least in his hands, when he's pretty much the best Earth Spirit player on the planet.
Who's their one gonna be?
On what? I could just tell you.
iG.Vit.
iG.Vit?
Last
The
time
one is Yuno, aka Paparazzi.
they ran Sven last time. They also ran Sven yesterday, but Sven's banned out.
Phantom Lancer.
We're going to go with the Phantom Lancer. They're going to pull out a little bit of their own, quote, Illusion Gaming. I know that PL isn't the Illusion-based hero he once was in the past, but nonetheless, a Diffusal candidate, and I don't know, what's the idea there? I mean, don't you feel it could be kind of greedy Sniper PL, or is one of them going to look to kind of come online and be a part of the action sooner?
Generally with Sniper, you want a hero up in front that takes the majority of the focus, not just damage. Like you just want a lot of clutter around so that Sniper can just pew pew from far away. I think Phantom Lancer fulfills that role because Vici Gaming don't really have that much AoE. It's not that great because Shadow Demon can make the illusions of the Phantom Lancer, but overall they're going to have a hard time clearing them. OD, yeah, he can one-shot the illusions, but Phantom Lancer creates them so fast that you really need like better sustained AoE damage rather than heavy single target to actually clear his army.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Vici's game plan is for them to kind of do their own thing and hope that they don't have to deal with the PL or the Sniper, but I would agree with you. They don't really have too many good options to deal really with either, unless this Slara gets a nice time Blink Dagger and really can snowball and pull focus away from like the Terrorblade and such. Sniper what? He probably just gets like a Maelstrom and shreds right through Terrorblade's illusions and such. I mean, I feel like he'd be wonderful to go against any sort of illusion gaming, but we'll have to see. Sakata Sniper.
10 seconds remaining.
I'm excited.
I'm not sure what the build is here. I think the Maelstrom is pretty good versus Terrorblade because he has a lot of armor too, but it doesn't really synergize that well with the Phantom Lancer. He can go a heavy physical damage build with the Yasha Dezo that he went last time, and combine that with a Diffusal Blade from the Phantom Lancers, then they will have a lot of damage output, and they can clear the illusions with physical damage as opposed to magical.
All right, smokes from each side, and away we go. iG.Vitality going to be moving as a full posse, it looks like, straight up north, where we have currently Shadow Demon just kind of hanking around a bit. We'll be able to drop down a pretty deep ward for their safe lane. What they don't know is that there is a full troop here, and as he rendezvous with the Terrorblade, oh, they might actually be in a decent spot. Oh, have they seen him? Oh, they have seen him. They will make their move. Rolling Boulder. He gets in front of him. That could be a block on the hill, too. Oh, he doesn't manage to block him in, unfortunately, but it doesn't matter. It seems like they may be able to get off enough damage and be able to claim the first blood, and it goes to In July as iG.V will strike first. Away we go.
30 seconds.
Of all the people to unfortunately get caught, it will be the Terrorblade for Vici Gaming, so
Gotta hold your skill point sometimes. Like he has maybe like a couple % more chance to live if he has reflection instead. Meta is not always an auto skill at level 1. Sometimes you do actually want the other ones. You can pull some like cool blocking shenanigans with an image, perhaps, or stacking if you need to if your lane's uncontested. There's reasons not to.
I agree.
pick it up.
I admire the style points in that one, but I guess for the players it's so much easier to go in lane and just buff up with a ton of damage and zone back your opposing off laner. But
You don't even know if he's going to start off there. For all he knows, like the Batrider could have been Iron Taloning, right?
it's true.
There's a lot of unknown factors in the game. And
ZYF, crafty veteran. And he assumes that he knows all, and will just go right for the auto skill point. Has DDC by his side, but it is going to be a bit of a 2v2 for now.
He missed the napalm. He tried to napalm the creeps to pull them to the south, so that the creep wave wouldn't be right here. And now that the dire range creep is up in front, but they need all 3 heroes to zone out these 2.
Okay, well, so it begins for VG Gaming here, looking to kind of take back dominance in the lane with both the Shadow Demon and the Yellow Tiger zoning back. Not going to be a whole lot in July, and dogfights are going to be able to say. Only an occasional rolling boulder is only going to go so far for now. Maybe at level 2 you can look for a potential setup, but in July just kind of have to play cautious and hope that dogfights could be there by his side in case things do get hairy. As they'll continue to just eat a wealth of damage, even forcing out the rolling boulder to make it back it away. But he'll just do the long walk all the way back, and we'll see where he takes it from there. Touching base at mid lane, it is indeed going to be the Sakata Sniper going against Ghost, ugly Ghost, playing your OD. My God, he's at 6-1, so he's doubling up on the Sniper CS game right now. But I don't know, is that something where the Sniper with eventually some levels begins to kind of take back over? I know in the past, working through the high ground with some headshots was a bit awkward, but does he eventually find his groove, or is this just already a great head start for the OD?
OD has a lot more base damage than Sniper. I think once you get higher levels in Shrapnel, maybe a level 2, level 3 Shrapnel, you can actually start pressuring the OD. Because you can chase them like almost a full screen. But what worries me a lot more is Vitality's like top lane. They weren't able to get the stack for the 2-minute or the 1-minute on that large camp, and Batrider is at least finally getting some levels, so not all is lost up there.
I would fear the same though for dogfights in the level department here. Looks like he's trying to find a home between 2 different lanes, and we'll have to see if he can manage to sap up enough XP to get that level 2 and hope for maybe some sort of catch-up opportunity. But for now, just remaining in the dark, that way Vici Gaming are not sure where he's going to end up and can kind of always feel a bit concerned. And
he can kill OD though. Like that's the
think?
thing about the Sniper lane. Sniper has way more kill potential on the OD, at least in this lineup.
And double slows.
ET perhaps can come in and set up for a kill on the Sniper after an Astral, but I think they would need level 6 on the OD for that to happen, or Sniper to be at like half HP or something. But he has a Fairy Fire and he's downed up, so I don't really see too much danger coming his way, except he's getting crushed in CS. Not crushed, but losing out.
How's bottom lane going here? We have our solo off lane Slardar muscling his way into a 9-2 CS. PL on the other side at 15-7, just kind of respecting each other for now, while we have Support Super over on the side, working with the pull camp. Not a lot of solo XP for him, considering he's been kind of, I would imagine, working with a lot of the pull game, but got to be working on pulling up the levels. Disruptor always best with more levels. One of those heroes I can get away with just having levels and not really a lot of items. He's got so many great skills.
They're giving this Slardar a lot though, but
yeah.
Poor man's shield is really hard to do anything against with a relatively weak range zoner like the Disruptor.
Yang is right in there, man. Yeah. And happy to contest with all of those creeps, but able to slide in with some more XP. I mean, you compare to where he's at, fresh level 4. Batrider, who out roaming around at about 4.5. Looks like he wants to kind of claim this 4-minute rune here, but not looking to opt to pull back, not looking to go to the jungle, just kind of doing a do-si-do with dogfights in the lane, so dogfights can at least get a couple of levels. Didn't value going with any sort of early silence, instead opts for the double into Q, so going more with the damage and the burst. Plus it costs a bit of mana if you want to kind of also incorporate the grip this early. That means you got the one combo and that's it. You better make it work. So at least now he has a bit more spam potential. Not much though.
Still no stacks for this Bat, surprisingly. I'm really worried about how he's going to get involved because like And Earth Spirit can make space for him, but he's busy soaking up space on the top lane.
He can come show himself in lane, but they still have that ward there, and they can constantly just track where he is at all moments and manipulate it as they please. July will be able to kind of work with full camp here a little bit, but here comes FY, and that means troubles are coming. I don't know if there's setup potential. No early disruption lead in from DDC. It looks like they're just content that, you know, the Terrorblade's kind of doing his thing in the lane and really winning the CS game overall. At 30-7, highest in the game. Vici Gaming just kind of content with playing with the clock for now.
The CS difference is not that big a deal. I'm very curious to see what the Phantom Lancer is going to go. Early BOTs or early diffusals, early Yasha is usually what we see. Sometimes we see a Vlad pick up.
Oh, didn't catch him with the rolling boulder, but did catch him with the stun and the grip. Follow-up. Nice disruption will help avoid the assassination coming up from Sakata. Good save by DDC. And now they get the stomp. So it looks like Sakata will be able to make it back and away. That's your first real assault coming in, and we'll be coming up a little short on that one. Good rotations, of course, from Vici Gaming will help prevent the trouble, and iG.V are going to have to go back to the drawing board.
They really needed that roll to connect.
Yeah.
But he was very well positioned. Now they have Observer Ward to scout a gank from that sort of angle. But Yang coming in from the south side, it looks like he's going to run into Super. It should be an easy kill.
Yep. Super is going to be able to get the glimpse off. That will be the end of it, actually. No crush committed. I guess figures that he'll be sent back after the crush. And
I thought that would have been pretty easy for them.
But FY didn't really want to cast too many things right now, so
yeah.
looks
Just
like
a
wait.
level 3 crush and then have a stomp. Maybe they were scared of getting chased down with a shrapnel from the sniper, but with Sprint, I think he would have been okay.
Whatever the intention was, they'll have to kind of make do with the situation, pull off and head elsewhere, as it could be to the bottom lane. FY heading down here now, but obviously Paparazzi not going to be the easiest to gank, so we'll just kind of hang out by the side of Yang, as Yang already got his Tranquils here. Could begin to adventure towards that Blink Dagger, but obviously it's quite the road ahead of him.
So iG.Vitality are trying to make the timing on the first Observer Ward expiring. They try to gather up there around 6:40, and they were there at -20, which is the latest that they could have placed a ward in order to still have vision over there. But Vici didn't bite.
Vici are not looking to get into
Dude, I'm getting
sort of
mad
early
lags.
skirmish. You're getting mad lags?
Yeah.
Go for a reconnect.
I'll just watch you.
You just watch me? I mean, mine's not too much better, I'll tell you that. Sometimes in these fights, it's a bit of a hot mess, but we'll see which ends up working out. Terrorblade has handed off his lane, it looks like. Is content with using his Metamorph and shuffling right through the jungle. The supports are like, thanks, man. Now we can have the lane, and they're going to farm up, try to get to the level 6s. I mean, look at poor FY. Just about to get to his level 3. It's been a hard road, and I'm sure a Tome of Knowledge is going to be in his future. Very valued to have that ET at some sort of decent level as mid-game approaches.
The PL actually wants to farm more. He went for an Iron Talon. That's his next item.
Mid lane, rolling boulder in from Dogfights. Coming in from behind is going to be in July. Takes flight, burns on through, and that's going to be the Ghost. Busted. Taking down the mid lane. iG.V claim their second kill. Bottom lane, Yang's able to get off the imp damage, but looks like it's just going to be a little bit of footsie here as PL will feel a bit more confident zoning him back. But as you mentioned, going more of a farm build, more of a selfish kind of a build. I don't know if that means that Sakata is going to look to get frisky or if they're going to be both content on the farming game. Okay, that was a lag spike and a half.
They're just trying to control the OD. They can kind of deal with the Terrorblade, just split push or try and lasso him or something like that, silence him so he can't sunder with their AoE silences. But as long as the OD is poor.
That's a hasted hogtie pullback right there onto FY Jr., and he's going to be going down. He just got his ripe level. Oh, he got level 4. He got 2 levels since the last time we checked in, but now he's dead. And iG.V will claim their 3rd straight kill. And in July, looks like he's going to be throwing together the drums first. No sort of straight to blink for him. Feeling the momentum right now, and they're going to follow it up with some damage onto this tier 1. So it's going pretty good for iG.V. They're keeping them Vici in check. They're finding some picks at the start. It didn't seem like it was going so well, but 3 kills.
You mentioned that iG.Vitality were trying to play a little bit greedy with the Iron Talon, but it's actually like Vici that were doing it a little bit more. So they had the Terrorblade rotating into the jungle. That's why the Elder Titan was vulnerable on the top lane.
What is happening? My game is bumping all over the place. Sakata was there, now he's gone. Mid lane. Looks like a jump in from ZYF. Yeah, we are totally reconnecting to this game.
I can't really see anything.
Frickin' Chinas and their firewalls. Don't worry, guys. We'll get back in, hopefully. But this is the time. Level 6s are going to be coming online. It looks like from Ben's computer here, Vici are going pretty heavy in with the push as the Metamorphosis is still up. Here we go. We're in now. Back in action here. And they were able to fend off any sort of extra oomph in the mid lane there from Vici Gaming. So off they go. Back out and beyond. And
so it's a Diffusal rush after the Iron Talon. I'm very surprised to see him go for Iron Talon and then Diffusal Blade, because they're kind of like opposites in terms of items. One's a farming item and one's an early fighting item. I guess a mix and match is not so bad. You don't want to heavy commit 2,000 gold to DOTs because you want to be able to fight early, but you also just don't want to fall super far behind by just rushing with
Rolling Boulder, top lane. They're looking to go for DDC. That's going to be Dogfights committing the Magnetize. That's a solo kill for sure. He gets it done. Nice roll in. Nice chance to take advantage of a solo little support. Without the vision there, DDC doesn't know what's hits him. He goes down.
And realize that he actually has to be the hero to make things happen around the map. The Slardar doesn't have that much farm right now. He doesn't have his Blink Dagger yet. Oh,
lane Sakata getting trounced on. Looks like FY setting up a nice little stomp. Allows the Ghost come on in and finish the job. That's 2 takedowns back to back on the Sniper. That is seriously going to be stunting his mid-game blossoming here.
They're playing way better. Vici are playing way better around their cores right now. Like Terrorblade, you pressure the mid lane, force them all to come over, and then pressure the bottom lane at the same time. And then we saw OD. He's died once, but that one time that they went on him in the mid lane, and 2 heroes TP'd, and then they disrupted him to save him from assassinate. Like, you can tell that they're just playing way better around their cores, whereas PL and Sniper, they have 3 deaths in between the 2 of them, which is very detrimental to their team, considering how the OD and Terrorblade are farming relatively.
And they're also just manipulating the map very well. Hanging around the mid lane, the second they see the approach from IG, they peace out, head to side lanes, and go back into the farm.
Injuli's 2 farm though. He has drums and almost Blink Dagger.
Yeah, I mean, he could have it with a
crazy
successful big fight here. Could do work. Fly. Spotted, there's a roll. Dogfights gets another setup play here. Glimpse pull him back into the kinetic field. The snipe will come on through. Sakata gets the last word in on that one. And IGV will be able to at least get themselves a kill and stop the momentum train here from Vici Gaming. And obviously with July participating in that, only puts him a couple of 100 gold shy from completing that sweet Blink Dagger.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Vici Gaming
Dire's structures are
slowly creeping in this mid lane, but their setup potential, I mean, what do you think? Without the Blink Dagger on Slaughter, there's not much of it, so
you can still make things happen without the Blink Dagger, though. That's the thing. That's exactly what the Bat Rider's been doing. Maybe they didn't expect him to be this active this early, but he was in the lane from the start. They dual lane. They didn't really lead the lane too much to stack, and it's clear that he wants to be involved and take down towers, be aggressive very, very early on, and shut down the OD and their supports. But he's just like consistently just getting kill after kill, and without too much in the way to stop him.
And Chaos breaking out here. They need to go for In July. Flies up and over. Stack Storm is going to be dropped to zone them back. Now Dogfight sweeps in, gets off the Magnetize very nice, and will help get the finish on the Terrorblade. He's going to get dropped. Yang looking to slither on in. If he goes down, he will be delayed on that Blink Dagger, and he gets Glimpse pulled all the way back between the 2. Nice 2-man crush, but here comes the Lance flying in. Yang has nowhere to go as the boulder flies on forward. He is no Indiana Jones. He will not make it away. Sakata with the double kill. Big fight right now for IGV. And with this, they can follow it up and segue into a tier 1 takedown in the mid lane. And really take all the momentum back. They're already on the up and up, but now you're going to see a Diffusal Blade pretty much complete.
Too many things to deal with in the fights. Like, they really couldn't even kill the Bat Rider. He was on the cliff. He was in a really good position to just run up and down the cliff. And how is a super short range hero like OD really going to chase them? And Terrorblade kind of got isolated. They had a low defensive disruption on them. There's no real team fight control from them right now. And as you mentioned, with the death, Yang's going to be further and further behind from his Blink Dagger. And it's just not, there's no clean way for them to really jump people and assassinate people within the first couple of seconds of the fight.
Yeah.
Whereas you have iG.Vit, the longer you leave the fight going, like shrapnel is going to come raining down on you.
It's like the opposite problem with iG.V. They have so many ways to get the fight going and just get quick kills and get out. Like 3 different ways between the Bat Disruptor and Earth Spirit.
They need to make something happen, right? Like they were just playing defensively around their cores, which was working out well for them in the 5 to 10 minute phase of the game. But now that iG.Vitality have committed 5 heroes to kill Vici's cores, their team fight is just much weaker at this point.
Yeah.
Especially with OD going for, I believe, what is a Midas. So they're gonna be like very far behind in terms of.
Man.
Maybe a big one network.
Looks like iG.July's found someone to hog tie up. Pulls back the mighty Terrorblade, and with a Static Storm, he is caught in the darkness and will not be able to get free.
This Bat Rider's out of control.
He's out of freaking control. He's having one hell of a game.
Yeah. Well, Midas gaming time.
Yeah, I don't know. From what I hear, Midas is really at its worst right after you get it, and that is when things are going really at their worst already for Vici Gaming. So we'll have to see if Vici, I don't know, can possum up a bit and wait.
They have Blink Dagger now on Yang, but he still needs to go all the way back home to get some mana. He doesn't have a clarity. It's still going to be like at least another 20-25 seconds before they can actually do anything. And now that they lost that bottom T1 tower, despite having the Slaughter, they can't really even to Roche all of that quickly, if at all.
Yeah, it certainly would not be fast and comfortable. I mean, and you got a Bat on the other team. You got a Sniper who could drop Shrapnel, Earth Spirit who can kind of be a problem from the outside. Definitely doesn't seem like, unless they get some sort of forgiving fight their way, that Vici would be able to easily creep in there and get that second life.
This Bat Rider's playing like an absolute boss. Even though he kind of lucked out with the 1 haste rune, I think even without that haste rune, he still would have had like major impact in this game. Like constantly keeping the 2 supports on top and then threatening the OD in the mid lane, who was doing pretty well in terms of CS. And now Vici feeling very, very desperate. Meta is up. Trying to make something happen. They have the blink on the Slarlar, but everyone's been missing for so long on the map. iG.July looks like he's gonna dodge the gank. Or
he can get back
dogfights.
in a way. Dogfight's close, but Earth Spirit can't disengage fast. It looks like they will make the jump for him with that stop, with that kill. He'll be the one to tank the gank. Super feeling ambitious, running with the kinetic field. And look at this, a turnaround fight, a buyback from Dogfights, and he's looking to roll back into action right now. There's the glimpse, the catch, the pullback. It's on Yang. They bump it back and forward. There's going to be the move in as the disruption comes out to help him. The Magnetize is going to get dropped with a Static Storm on top of it. Oh boy, here we go. iG.V looking to round up Vici Gaming, but still handing in it. ZYF is going to get bumped up with the Boulder Smash. Shot down in the back, Sakata, Executioner style. Takes him off the map. Oh, and they're not even going to let precious little DDC make it away. A bop of the bat from Dogfights, and suddenly it is a 4-for-1 trade. Ben, that was a very thirsty Vici Gaming team moving into those woods, and now they are just absolutely ransacked.
That was really good buyback by the Earth Spirit. Like
Yeah.
he knew where the smoke was coming from. It was either going to come from the secret shop south or from the right side of the map coming to the left. And it came from the way he probably least expected of the 2, but he still popped the smoke. No super important hero died, and he was able to go TP back to the fight and do a lot of damage. And they have really good zoning abilities. They have Napalm, so you can't like run away from the kinetic field, from the shrapnel. You have like Earth Spirit with all his gunk on you, the diffusal blade, and like all these things.
That's when I use my favorite buzzword, crowd control. That's what I like. They got ways to just manipulate them. Yeah, the lasso, the sticky, the kinetic fields, all these cages, all these barriers, all these obstacles.
They didn't even need the lasso though. He blinked on the Slardar and then they just glimpsed them back and just waiting to lasso a higher priority target. He didn't even use it on the Terrorblade that was at like 40%, knowing that he ran circles around it with a napalm. Just
you're not even worthy of the iG.July lasso. So he gets to hold that in case maybe something opportune pops up for them, but at this point they can just take in all the winnings and just get back into their own bit of farm right now, and you can see it looks pretty damn good. Your PL is currently at the top of the net worth charts as he has that obviously diffusal done, routes of travel now done, and his fight potential on the rise to match up as he's kind of hanging around the neighborhood with iG.July, who's feeling a bit more ambitious here, stalking out the mid lane, but it is just an illusion. And where's our sniper at? Hurricane Pike, straight to Hurricane Pike this time, so not the normal Sakata buildup. This one favoring, I don't know, the extra range, the ability to force staff.
Oh, he has BOTs, but are they going to be able to get there in time? Roche, way too low. Don't think. Ooh, maybe? Nah, Amp's too strong.
Well, it's like when you're at that yellow light. Have you gone too far? Can you stop still? It looks like they can't stop. They have enough time to stop. A stomp will be there, though, from FY, but that is just helping to secure the escape from Vici Gaming. So that's nice for them. They were able to grab the Aegis. They were able to grab up the extra life. It is going to be grabbed up by Ghost. But how much time does this really give them? Does it stop IG from moving on in and trying to like clear out these remaining tier 2s?
I think it's actually a pretty big deal. iG.Vitality were in a position where they could have contested Roche like super easily. They could have probably contested Roche like 4-on-5 at this point, especially with the help of Shrapnel and the Bat Rider inside the pit. Like they can easily scout them out if they're around in the area, but they overextended a little bit too far. They wanted to farm the Dire jungle, they wanted to farm the Dire top lane, and I think that gives Vici actual ticket to get back in the game, because now OD, he was poor and all he had was a Midas, but now with his Aegis that guarantees him like a 4-staff or whatever he wants to go after. It looks like it's going to be a Blink Dagger at this point, and some of the heroes might actually be vulnerable, and now they can like double save people. If Shadow Demon is in position, he can save the OD. If OD's in position, he can just blink and save whomever else.
Is that okay for the OD in this kind of game to skip over 2 items, like getting 2 items that are not, except for attack speed, are not going to really add any sort of DPS? Is it okay because you have a Elder Titan with Natural Order to help, or you banking that it's just going to be all Terrorblade?
If you survive in the fights, you can do damage, but like 4-staffs, like okay, but if you 4-staff people away, they can still get glimpse back. You can also like just lasso them. I think he wants a better mobility so he doesn't actually have to worry about getting lassoed in the fight. You really do not want your OD to get lassoed. I think Terrorblade's like okay, because you can defensively disrupt and then you can just sunder. But for OD, if you get lassoed, even if you get disrupted, you're still gonna die. Like almost 100%. Even if you try and like self-astral and then blink out, it's really hard under effects of napalm, or they can just time a boulder smash, or just static storm on top of it. There's so many things that they can do to actually prevent that combo. But they're coming up with another smoke on the Dire side. This will be the 3rd one in about 10 minutes time. They've almost exhausted them all, but this could be their ticket.
Yeah, a big fight here could get this game right back even. And Vici Gaming are banking on that with a hopeful setup. They have dogfights hating in the wing zone inside of IGV. As here they go with their approach. Some seems a bit fishy. Sakata gonna get jumped on. There it is. Stack Storm is going to be on top of it. The counterplay is going to be the lasso. Grab back a DDC is going to pull him right inside that storm. A bump back flame break will also get the kill. That's going to be the Aegis down. Moving from Yang, gets the bop, takes dogfights out of this one. There's the second life of Ghost now. And he moves in. He's looking to haunt his way through, and he will get the grab onto Suber. Yang gets the crush off as Paparazzi makes his own impression into the fight. Nice little doppelganger, and he is not going to get caught from the Sandy's Eclipse. He makes it back and away, and Yang can't even get anything off onto him, so he'll have to let that one go. In July, though, that's not going to be able to make it away. That's a gem down. That is a fight for Vici Gaming as they take 4 all day.
You see how big of a difference the Aegis of the Immortal makes, though? If they had it on a sniper instead of the OD, there is no way Vici would have taken that fight. However, the sniper is just like super easy to kill. Drop him once, even if he buys back, they're still gonna lose the fight. And if he diebacks, they're like in a really, really tough spot. But Vici, they're letting all these opportunities slip away from them. They don't have to force these fights. Why are you gonna take a fight when you don't have vision of them? You have the Observer Ward, but they could easily smoke. And they have not been the greatest about using their scans, both this game and the other games that I've spectated from them.
As in they're not using them appropriately, or they're just not using them?
They're not using them, well, both I suppose. But you want to use it when you, I mean, there's a lot of different ways to use them, but if you're going to lose a team fight because you don't know where they are, it's better to throw out a scan.
Dogfight taken down by that bomb tower as it goes down, and it's going to get jumped on, but here comes the reinforcements from IGV, and it's going to allow them to get a nice bump back, takedown of Yang. And a desperate Sunder helps to keep End alive. Flash forward a second as we're going to have a bit of lag as they bump back and away here. But still only the 1-for-1 trade. Vici Gaming came in here to get that tower. They'll get that. They'll take a life. They'll almost lose one of theirs there with that assassination. But it looks like they'll be able to make it out without super close enough. He is not going to catch a glimpse. For a glimpse, yeah, they are just too far and away. So
that was a really good disruption by the Shadow Demon. He's been playing pretty well. and allowing Terrorblade to get off his thunder yet again.
DDC, this guy's been in the Dota game for a long, long time. He was originally on the team, I can't think of it because I don't have the name in my head, but that got bought out by Invictus Gaming and then became Invictus Gaming. That's how long he's been around, man. And right now just continuing to play a very stellar Shadow Demon. Banking on Aether Lens even, just to make sure he can have that extra bit of distance to get off the clutch save.
Now the tides have turned because Vici were in a really bad position because they didn't have any gold and they lost like too many fights in a row, and then they got the Aegis and now they have the BKB up on the Terrorblade, so they have items to compensate for their lack of team fight at the moment, and they got the big bounty on the sniper in that last fight. So yeah, still they may have issues dealing with the Phantom Lancer. Now he is in very farm territory with the Fusel and Manta Style, and OD is still not at that point where he's even close to being able to deal with all those illusions.
Yeah, this is a big power peak right now for Invictus Gaming. And July is just on the prowl, hoping to find someone to set something up, but actually Vici Gaming are on the prowl themselves.
This is when you scan.
But where are the scans? We got scans up on both sides, and neither of them know that this is a thing in the game, it looks like. So they're just going to, unfortunately, just sit around and be like, where's their team? I wish we had a way to just look at an area on the map and see if they're there. Here comes Yang. He could actually find the jump.
Oh, he has an invis, and they lost their gem. This could be really bad for iG.Vit.
That's it. They just do a little bit of a country dance around each other and walk away. Fortunately, opportunity lost.
There's a minus on the Elder Titan as well. F5 wants part of that farming life.
They are banking on the fact that they're just going to be going into the late game. I mean, is that more for... Is that saying more like, iG.V are very good, and we know that we're just going to play things slow and farm up, or we're not going to? We know that we're not going to be able to easily finish them off.
They need BKBs on their course. They need BKB on OD at some point versus this lineup. So I think like the timing you're aiming to actually win team fights is once he gets BKB, and it looks like he's building maybe a Lincolns right now.
Yeah, I don't know.
Lincolns or Scythe. I don't know, but I think regardless he needs to BKB, unless he continues to get the Aegis, but that's not something that you can rely on. So I think winning fights at like 35, 40 minutes and then actually winning the game is kind of your timeline for Vici.
We'll have to see if they're going to be able to get that opportunity or not. Back to the grind here. As Paparazzi picks up his next little item here, an Ogre Club. For now, we'll have to see what he decides to go for, but IG are pretty all in with this bottom lane push.
Is he going BKB too?
I don't know. I would suppose possibly.
There's not that many other items you can get.
Let's look at the show in the shop. Agnums, nah. Echo Saber, no. Dragonlance, I don't know.
Halberd is like...
Halberd, you're reaching.
Halberd is reaching, but BKB is, I think, also reaching at this point for Phantom Lancer. It's alright, I suppose.
Yeah, very weird.
It doesn't buff up your illusions. That's why you pick Phantom Lancer for the illusions mostly.
We'll have to see if it is going to be the BKB and if it was the key or not for them to be able to kind of get the turnaround they're hoping for. And for Porta Dogfights, I mean, I was a bit skeptic, as I always have been, with these newer spirits, with where the game has suddenly shifted on how much of an impact they can make in the early game. He did a nice job. He did a great job finding all those setups and those gank opportunities, but you know, now's that awkward period. You know,
set up on the right side. They have an observer ward. They're laying a trap for what they hope to be Terrorblade. Actually, Terrorblade has BKB. I don't think they can kill him.
Could be Yang. Just casually blinks himself into the lane, and July's still hanging around, but
you're always worried if they blink forward like that, though. If they blink forward, either they're super careless or their whole team's behind them. But offlane players generally aren't careless, so you just have to assume that his team's behind them.
I mean, have you met ROT? Oh, here we go. Bottom lane, rolling on in. July could be in trouble here. End is in pursuit, and with that blink, Ghost is going to be able to get off the Astral Imprisonment. And oh my god, begins to just hit him hard. The crush will be there from Yang to stop any sort of futile escape. While this is happening, it is going to be a trade. This mid lane tier 2 will be going down to the hands of IG. Vici quickly push down this bomb lane and look to draw attention on themselves.
Are they not going to TP back?
Well, we have Boots of Travel, we have a TP there, and we have a TP up in just a moment here. Glimpse only on the illusion.
No, he got the glimpse on the real Terrorblade.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Well, he's running back up. He'll have to take the long journey up. Or IG going to be able to get some work done in the base before he makes his return? Doesn't look like it. Looks like they found a Roche along the way, and they'll just do that instead. And IG will have no say in the matter. They're still hanging out outside the front door. They've been like, I don't know, kind of lollygagging here for a bit.
I can't believe that iG.Vitality has given up 2 Roshans despite being in heavy control of the game and taking down all the important Roshan towers that they, the game's definitely slipping away from them at this point.
It definitely feels like all that momentum is just suddenly gone. We were bragging about iG.July and his being an enforcer on this bat, having a wealth of farm, dogfights and smashing, making such a good early game impact, but this is the part of the game where you're handing things off for your sniper and for your PL to really succeed, and we haven't really seen the PL be able to do a whole lot since the Manta.
Same thing with the Sven game. I feel like he doesn't find like that exact right moment where he can do the most damage to the opposite team when his farm is like relatively strong. Like, he's very farm. He's 3,000 above the Terrorblade, but it doesn't feel like it.
No,
it feels like he's like 4th in net worth with the way that he's playing. He's not, you know, asserting his dominance, just like showing them who's boss, just like constantly harassing people with the illusions, like popping smokes and being elusive.
iG.July does that, but iG.July almost does it too much, where he's way ahead of his team. But they will get the Eclipse pull back here for Yang into the dogfight magnetized. But here comes the Odie. Sanity's Eclipse does some good damage, but not going to be able to get the finish. iG.July still holds on strong in those back lines. And now dogfights, boulder smash on forward. PL suddenly does not like his trade against the Terrorblade and opts to pull on back. Hits up Ghost a bit. Ghost taking a lot of damage. And he's going to be forced to self-astral to just make it away from the trouble. Dogfights will be left behind, and he'll be going down, and that's going to be the cue for IG to just get the hell out of there if they can. Super needs 9 seconds before he's going to have a glimpse, and 5 seconds before there's going to be a kinetic field. How are they going to be able to stop him? iG.July opts to pull out the lasso now. Looking to go for hopefully a takedown onto Yang, and the sniper, Astral just in time, will help avoid the last right click coming in from Sakata. That would have been a finish. But man, Vici Gaming, hold on, they survive. They lose nobody, and they take down 3 from IG.
What a waste of 4,000 gold this BKB is.
Kind of went in there and 180 back.
What a waste.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
I thought that like Vici would be heavily underhanded with the Midas pickup, and then they'd have to wait a long time for it to ramp up. But that's only 2,000 gold sunk into an item that's not useful for 10 minutes or so. But BKB is 4,000 gold into an item that's useless immediately when it's supposed to be really strong. Right there.
Well, very non-scary IG team. I mean, maybe they become a whole new beast once they're put into the high ground, like Olden Sniper or
They need
something.
some cherries.
IG's cherries? Yeah. Did we ever find out what that was? Is it
I don't know.
Drink candy?
I kind of like the speculation.
Yeah. It could be, lubricant? I don't know. Anything could be cherry, really.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Anything.
Choose your imagination. And I'll have to imagine a world where iG.V are going to be able to kind of swing this game back out, because at one point when they were holding a 5K net worth advantage, it's just about the same the other way here, and Vici Gaming have kind of a lineup that just seems to scale a lot nicer, certainly with the way that iG.V were itemizing.
Sakata had a really good force-step that fight, though. He tried to force-step the PL so that he survived. He was really close to it.
iG.July's had enough, and he's looking to kind of get something back the way of IG, and they will be able to get the snipe and the takedown of poor little FY.
Doesn't matter. Have Midas. Got my reliable gold, bros.
Didn't use it, though, fortunately.
He doesn't need to use reliable gold. That's the best part about it. Actually, he didn't spend his unreliable. But he has reliable gold.
Well, he's reliably not going to be here for any sort of high ground events. So we'll see what they can do. DC begins to etch out the poison, but outside of his poison, they don't have an amazing way besides right-clicking each of the creeps to really spam out these waves. So let's see what they can do about it, and all the illusions that are going to be coming in by the hand of Paparazzi here, who's actually eating some damage himself. So they have to opt to pull back, but this is Sakata's time to shine on the sniper, right? Low ground,
it's supposed to be the PL time to
sieging.
shine.
Well, PL's not in there. He's not shining. He's leaving. He's going back to bottom lane, back to the farm. Oh no! They caught out Sakata. Beautiful leap in from Yang. We'll get the crush, and That's going to be forcing out a static storm just to ensure the safety of the sniper, but he's still not safe. The chase is still on. Drops a shrapnel, is able to cancel their blinks, thank God. He is running. He's even trying to stop and hope that slows him. Okay, all right. Nice boulder smash. Nice crit comes in, but it wasn't going to save him yet. What the biggest sniper bait known to man, pulling in not one but two. They're going to get ghosted as well. What the hell was that? A fugitive on the run, and they're just taking all the police with them. Luckily, ZYF will make it away in the back of a TP. And
Dude, what a boss.
For him. He's just a man on the run, canceling blinks along the way. That was awesome.
Cicada's a man, dude.
What a slippery little bugger.
Even that fight, like the PL TP'd out, he had Doppelganger and Manta illusions up. And it might not seem like that big of a deal to use them, but they don't know that you TP'd out if you use those. And also, you can stop blinks with them, which is like extremely useful stuff. But he's just like, whatever, I'm not going to use my spells. Con creeps, hit creeps.
Well, back the other way now, with OD being out of the playing field for about 20 seconds or so. IG feel confident on kind of moving on in.
His team wishes he had a heart right now, so they could actually siege high ground.
Yeah. Get up there with that BKB. See what you can do. There he goes. Doppelganger, and yeah, walks back and away. He has no life.
They could, alternatively, the supports could have had an urn, but this was a really good opportunity for them.
Well, we do have an urn on the Earth Spirit. He's just holding the charge, it looks like, for now. But now Paparazzi in a bit of trouble, going to be forced to doppel. Oh, had to pop the BKB because he saw Yang go for the crush, but Yang canceled it.
Okay, that
and
BKB
now they turn
owned.
back onto him, and they're going to get it done.
Okay.
He will still get shot down from behind, though. That was a sniper illusion, if I'm mistaken, coming out, and it was just sieging on forward.
Yeah.
Radiant's top tower is
That's a
under
nice
attack.
disruption target, especially at this point in the game, too.
Okay, he needed a heart. I was about to say, oh man, BKB owned. He owned that Slardar, and then just got plinked down by physical damage. That's the thing where it doesn't seem like a small item like an urn would make that big a difference. But if he had 400 more HP at the start of the fight, it would have been a really big deal. Or ×2, because he had 2 charges. He could have had 800 more HP. He would have been almost topped off, and then they could have actually, I think, done significantly more structural damage to their fight. But you know, that was only a small thing. He was really good about his BKB timing and owning the Slardar as he did jump in. And now iG.Vitality have to invest in another gem. But it's Roshan number 3 time. Will Vici Gaming get away with a 3rd one?
Maybe. I mean, they're already in the neighborhood here. Possibly scouting it out. Still needs a little bit more time before we'll see the secondary clock. As Vici Gaming just kind of prepare for it, pushing out this bottom lane, getting that mid lane across the river. Wards are going down now.
Man, that's the dream as an OD when you don't have to build BKB in a game. That's great. It's a good feeling.
Yeah, it's then probably moving forward for the Shivas. To help burst down the PL and his illusions, deal with the attack speed. But yeah, you're right. I mean, obviously Lasso going through the BKB, not a big deal. I mean, you just have to avoid being caught in a static storm, but
even
force
like
stats by your teammates, I'm sure, will help you get out.
Like an Earth Spirit Silence will limit his damage output greatly if he were actually concerned, but he's not because he's been getting the Aegis, and it looks like Vici has enough control of the map to get the next one too. And they're creating a lot of space, and iG.Vitality, they've learned their lesson. They're hovering around the bottom side of the map and only letting PL farm the other side of the map, who can BOT anywhere else at this
What did he
point.
get? He got an ultimate arm.
So
I suspect Scotty, maybe?
Yeah.
But as you can see, he's
Scotty's alright.
item behind where the terrible it is. It feels
I think
like.
you want to know like a butterfly heart this game because ODs never want to build MKB. It is a nightmare when you have to build a MKB on OD. Bloodthorn like kind of solves it, but you can just manta it off now.
Ooh, they managed to get a hold
Wow.
of BDC here. He insta-dies, and in July looks for more. Managed to get the grab on the Terrorblade, pulls him back. They're waiting for the Sunder. It's going to be going off. It's on Sakata. He runs back and away. He's going to be able to get the force. Puts himself in a good position. Now begins to pop off the shots. Looking to go in. Paparazzi's in a lot of trouble. Doppelganger will put him back in away. Stackstorm's going to be committed. They all look to bounce back. And it's going to get shot down in the face. Sakata gets that one now, dominating. And with this win, could get him a good Roche secure and take back all momentum in this game, and it looks like they will be able to do so. Vici Gaming with 3 surviving.
Their sniper is no joke.
Sakata, yeah.
Like, he got sundered and he just immediately bounced, got 4-stabbed, got earned, and then was just on the high ground, immediately shooting down and
Just good
throwing some
positioning,
pellets. Yeah,
you know?
he's really quick about his he's like really quick to turn around and doesn't try to get as much damage in as possible. He knows that all he needs to do is kite them and just do as much damage as you can while not putting yourself in a compromising position.
Just playing with that max range as much as possible, and then hanging around the outskirts has certainly paid off, and now he's got about 2K gold saved up here.
But not only that, he like 4-stabs his teammates like very quickly on top of that. So I like
What do you get next then? I mean, you're confident enough in your kiting capability that you just continue to build up damage? I don't know if he needs to. I mean, we joked about Maelstrom in the draft, but it seems far past that now. So I don't know if you just go like Daedalus.
This is his build of choice. Exact same item as he went to the other game.
Okay, that's right. Well, even helps even better with the positioning. So, or even re-engaging. I mean, if you're constantly kind of playing with that much distance between yourself, that when the fight begins to turn around, now he doesn't have to worry about being so far away from kiting. He can just blink and get himself back in and put on a good chase too. As speaking of chase here, in July tries to chase down anybody from the side of Vici, but they are not around and still not looking to go for the Roche yet. I know that Vici Gaming have a pretty difficult lineup that you want to Roche against with Elder Titan there, but
I wonder how.
To go in.
I wonder what their plan is to actually deal with the sniper though. Like, if you're Vici right now, you have to address the sniper situation. Like, you can't just let him be on the side and just keep shooting at you.
I mean, you think that'd be like maybe Yang's responsibility to help start it, like just isolating, finding out what the sniper is, and hoping that your team's going to be able to go for it next. For now, it only spots out in July, so they'll quickly take out the Bat Rider.
That's a second gem.
All right. Good smoke. Good move in.
And they have not protected Roach. Wow. Jeez.
Well, PL just opts instead to go up to the top and go for the tier 2, and BG will rightfully take this Roche for theirs. And that'll be the third straight Roche, all from BG.
Oh,
and it's going to go to OD again.
The Dream 3 Aegises don't have to build BKB. Wow.
I was meant
He's just giving this OD a free game.
On the bright side, it does look like PL has finished off his Scotty, so he's got some extra stats, some extra life to work with now, but a whole extra life.
Can you sense
OD.
my excitement about this Scotty?
Looking at the positives here for iG.V, I know that they have unfortunately found themselves in a spot where they're going to have to play to the will of Vici Gaming and their extra life, but we'll see what they can kind of grind up as far as farm for themselves in the meantime. I mean, Sniper's already been able to get about 1,600 gold. Do you remember what he got after the Blink Dagger?
Game didn't last that long.
Oh, snap. Secret hidden final boss item coming up.
Daedalus or Butterfly, I think, are both really good choices. You could also go Mjolnir if you're actually scared about the Terrorblade, but the downside with that is that it doesn't actually do that much damage to him when he's BKB'd, whereas Daedalus would do a lot more. And OD's also itemized for armor, which gives a little bit more merit to Maelstrom. I don't know, it's a tough choice. I don't actually know what the best choice for here is.
Spotted out dogfights, and nice Astral before he can even boulder out. Will be taken care of. It's that awkward spot in the late game when, unless you happen to have an Agnum Scepter, it's a difficult time for Earth Spirit. You're just essentially trying to get your tools off. I mean, thankfully for him, there's not a BKB on the OD or this. Oh, there is a BKB on the Slardar.
He just picked it up like 2 minutes ago.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, his targets of who he can actually do some work on are becoming a few, it's a bit smaller, so I don't know. It's an awkward time for an Earth Spirit in the game.
It's okay. OD had the foresight to go for the Midas, and now that you're at this point in the game, you're happy with that choice. You're happy with the double Midas.
So is it looking like the possibility, like iG.V up to this point have itemized not with where they should be as far as where they got themselves. I'm wording this terribly right now, but you know what I mean? Like, it's like the window, they just missed it, and even if they didn't miss the window, did they really itemize for it?
It's not really just the items, though. It's also just the Roshan control has just been extremely poor for them. They want to fight around the Roche pit with Terrorblade dead, and they still couldn't get the Roche. That was like 10 minutes ago. Not even 10 minutes ago, but you get my point. They like won a big fight, and they still were not able to secure control of the pit. That's absurd that they haven't been able to prevent that at all.
Even with their lineup too. Quite surprising is iG.Vitality takes to the skies. They spot out Ghost here. That's going to pop the Lincolns with the Lance that allows the lasso, and then the forced pullback into a nice boulder smash. There's a silence follow-up and a static storm. And they will get the Aegis down. It's a lot committed for it. Can they take the second life? Looks like Vici and the rest of them on the way. He'll stall things out with the actual imprisonment, then he'll hop to the low ground. His end begins to go to work, popping his BKB and popping out the Metamorphosis in the Manta. Begins to shoot everyone down, including the PL. Without a chance, he just gets absolutely blasted. And it is going to be Vici Gaming, rightfully, moving on forward. So much invested from iG.V. They get the grab on Ghost, but they only able to take down the Aegis. Nice little slide there from Sakata. Will avoid the crush. Will he bait another one in? Looks like he may. Oh, before they can even move in and try to get the Glimpse pullback, it is all Ghost jumping in and shooting down the two. It's going to be forcing out buybacks already from iG.V. This could be the beginning of the end as they get another triple kill for the OD. Can IG even hold and save their racks? They may be able to, but it's already costed them seriously so much.
Dude, that Terrorblade is such a boss. He blinked in the middle of them and just ripped them apart as they were trying to kill the OD. He waited until the exact moment that the OD was about to drop and they were all about to focus on the OD, and then boom, he just crushed them.
He hopped like over the stack storm too. It's just like he knew that there was going to be no problems on the other side of that darkness. So he's like, I'm just going to hop over and pop all my buttons.
Yeah, he popped over Manta and then Manta Meta and then Reflection, and then they used Amp on the Phantom Lancer, who was completely caught unawares by that blink initiation by the Terrorblade.
Yeah, he got shredded.
Wow. That was incredibly well played by the Terrorblade.
That was like a demoralizing takedown of the Phantom Lancer. It looked like he was not even what was justified as top net worth for the majority of this game. But Terrorblade has taken that spot now. And it's back to the drawing board here for the rest of IG. And whatever that may be, unfortunately. So
I think next Aegis they just lose.
Yeah. VG may not wait that long. They're already making a move in. It looks like they've been able to spot out the sniper here. They're going to catch him with the Astral Imprisonment. He pops the Manta, scoots away, gets a double force, which helps avoid the crush of Yang. But unfortunately, that means that the Disruptor's going to have to take that shot. iG.Vitality picks it up, gets the lasso, gets the pullback, but there was a nice Astral to help him a bit. Yang's going to pop his BKB, and he will sprint out from the trouble. Vici Gaming is so well polished here in the late game now that everything has worked out. The Midases have paid off. They've got all the items they could ask for and all the momentum. It's a matter of just kind of putting a lid on the game. IG, they're going to have to dig a bit deep here. They want to hold high ground. Sniper picks up his crit stick. And we'll hope that will be enough of extra damage here to kind of hold them back. Looks like VG are just going to kind of step off and we'll clear through the jungle in the meantime.
They just need to wait for next Aegis. If you look at the gold graph, you can actually tell every single time they got the Aegis. The first one is that first big drop, the second one is the second drop, and the third one is that third huge drop. They've effectively converted like the first two into like a 5,000 net worth swings with the Aegises. And that's how big of a deal it is for this OD. And I think like Sniper's like playing incredibly well. The Batrider was just an absolute boss the first 25 minutes of the game, but it all came up short when they relied on the Phantom Lancer to carry them through the last half of the game. And their supports also fell really far behind the Disruptor in particular. You want that ult to be 7 seconds long. It is a big difference in between the 5 and the 7 seconds, especially when you have spells like Disruption and you don't have a BKB on the OD to, or pre-BKB to negate the majority of the ultimate.
Yeah,
or prevent like a BKB pop.
Yeah, between him and Earth Spirit, unfortunately, it just doesn't feel like they're going to be able to really match up too well in some of these fights. They get off their spells, which will help a bit, but I mean, if they're anywhere near the fight, they're just paper. So it's all on the course here to kind of hold up with the real damage, as we are going to see 2 tower taken down, and as mentioned, Vici Gaming probably looking to take this one pretty methodical, waiting out for the next Aegis. And, okay, Yang tries to go for it. I can understand it, but very cautious. Yuno will pop his BKB and TP out, just trying to split pressure as much as possible. But it is, there's an expiration here on iG.V. I mean, is it at the point where I know that they're going to be holding up for the roast on Vici Gaming, but do you have to contest it if you're IG? Or do you think they have a better chance waiting high ground?
You have to contest it.
Well, the problem is that Vici Gaming are just going to wait for the Roche and then just go in it when it's up. They would love to be able to take a big fight first. So they're smoked. They're moving in to hope to catch anyone out of position here, but looks like serious buddy-buddy system by IG.
One of their strong late game tools hasn't even been used, which is the SD siege with the Terrorblade, or SD on the PL illusions and split multiple lanes, because PL illusions can actually push out lanes on their own past the expiration of the disruption. So like they haven't even used all that they can to reach the high ground. It's going to be a relatively easy task for them.
I've seen him use a couple times on the sniper, which is actually a pretty nice target in itself. Because you just, I don't know if you would really recognize a tiny little sniper illusion in the back just suddenly dealing out a serious amount of damage, or hell, you can even throw it into a side lane and have it split push itself. But yeah, nonetheless, Vici Gaming not even showing all of their potential yet. Definitely makes it very scary here, and the odds of IG kind of pulling this one out seem to end up being, or feeling a bit thin. But PL has 4K saved up. I know a chunk of it's going to be saved for some buyback, but he doesn't have the buyback timing yet, and they're making their move onto him. He's going to be forced to BKB, and, well, I don't think he has the health to survive. They just beat the snot out of him. He'll get taken out. 100 seconds, no buyback. I mean, he will have it in 1 minute, so just a little shorter than that. No, actually, it's about 90 seconds also. That's very unfortunate. They have no PL pretty much right now. Okay, good luck there, IGV.
This is a pretty disappointing game from iG.Vitality, because I think, like, this game, the PL didn't make that much sense. It was, like, okay, but it wasn't that great, which makes me think that it was probably the carry player that suggested it, as opposed to the captain wanting it.
Pull back, hoping to get a grab onto Yang through the static storm, but that's a disruption, and now that static storm is going to be doing a whole lot. Very ballsy, deep committed dive. ZYF feeling like an unstoppable force. Will just quickly shred apart the disruptor and then get back to work on doing justice in the base. IGV, I imagine the towel to be thrown in as PL will not even be there to defend. Hammer dropped inside the fountain will be a quick and easy takedown, and that will be the game. Score of the kills is 23-27, Ben, but it didn't feel like that. Vici Gaming, certainly by the back half of this one, had absolute control of the game. That third age was certainly, as they say, the nail in the coffin.
I forget which team they remind me of, in that they have like a really good first 15 minutes, and then their team fight and decision making from there is just terrible. And it's a sign of a team that doesn't have a lot of experience. You don't have those like super old veterans that can command you, and their in-game leadership is just overall pretty poor. And back to the Phantom Lancer, I think like the Phantom Lancer didn't really fit, I don't think, that game that much, so I think that he actually asked for the hero as opposed to the captain wanting it, and that was just like a very disappointing performance that he wasn't able to really do anything. They didn't have that much AoE to clear him, but he wasn't able to propagate that many illusions. The BKB also like shows which one you are, and also not very good for illusions. And he was like very, very farmed, like 3,000, 4,000 gold ahead of a 10,000 net worth hero, but still unable to convert that to any sort of momentum. But the biggest deal is just not being at the right place at the right time for their entire team.
We'll have to see if Invictus Gaming are going to change up their drafting style, and you know, I know we're having a conspiracy.
Dude, the sniper was ownage, though.
I mean, sniper was amazing.
He was great.
For a second pick sniper, I'm cool with that. That was great. But yeah, the PL, the last pick here, we don't know what the motive might have been, but we'll have to see if they change motives for Game 2, because Vici Gaming could skate their way into a 2-0 sweep of the series, and then I believe that means that they face MVP in the next series. So we'll confirm that for sure. Folks, we'll cut to a small break. When we come back, it's going to be Game 2 of iG.Vitality versus Vici Gaming. We'll see you soon.